Never have an excuse to be in the gym all day. Even when I take time off, I'm working. The whole point of every camp is just to get better at everything. I made Kansas City my camp. I need a bunch of people around me to work hard. I train hard, but that's one guy. That D1 wrestling gonna make me stay on my feet. Once you get to a certain level, it's all mental.
Let's get ready to bang! What up, world? Feeling a whole lot better this week. I'm your host, Smack Mo Green. I want to welcome y'all to another segment of 25A coverage. And you know what time it is, baby. It's do work time. It's fight week. We're going behind the scenes with Andrew the Beast Tyson for his pro debut fight against Wes Miller that was hosted in Independence, Missouri at the Truman Medical Center. Hey man, this is crazy for a pro debut. Check it out.
My guy's at Title Boxing too. He comes in there. It's hard too.
I'm getting ready to get my revenge.
Use the big needle.
Most guys, I just make them hop around for about a minute. I'm gonna wait for the horn to sound on you. All right. Gotta get your heart rate up for me, jumping jacks, shadow boxing, whatever. Yeah, for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Turn this way,
Ken. Get it up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more. See, you're just like me, man. That's only like 10 seconds. You think it's 30. Holding those planks. Alright, that's good now.
I was in St. Louis.
I know those two knuckleheads. What's up, guys?
What's up, Tyson?
How you doing, man?
I'm excited for your fight.
I'm excited for my fight.
It don't matter. Tell me it don't matter. It don't
Yeah, that too. I'm excited to watch you guys go at it, man. What up, man?
Just let it come back in. It's just every annual physical, we have to do all these extra weight pressures and all that. It's all good so far. It gives me time to get on my things.
I might drown. Is it real that shit you talking about? I'm a real nigga, little nigga with a slight temper. She wet the sign, they call her false dripper. Comfortable, so I had to grip her. She is the miss, she call me Mister. Never had no.
Three kings.
Bobby Volker, got to give a shout out to Three Kings. They're great, and just letting you know I'm fighting for the UFC. Hopefully, got another fight coming up here. I think in April, May. So, just keep in tune, check it out, cheer me on. KC, just support me. I appreciate it.
Yo, man, this your man Olivia Carter, man. I'm out here supporting my man Tyson. He's about to put in this work. I'm watching him. You should be watching him. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a knockout tonight. Also, shout out to Three Kings. You heard me? Go ahead and get him.
Three kings.
He's gonna run out there and hit the dude you fight.
Right. I'm gonna get it on camera.
I'll swag
Get that camera out of my fucking face.
Oh shit.
Hey, I go fast. I get my GSP.
Tim Lukanoff, Executive Director. We're about to go by Kingside Promotions.
Hold it up and down. You got pop it, pop that.
In the ring, Mr.
That's what thank you, sir.
Referees Mike England.
Make sure you guys stay down.
Timekeeper, Marshall Champion. The ringside physician is Dr. Rance McLean. Next up, this bout brought to you by the Carlos Mustard Seed.
Hey, find your distance, set your pace. Your distance, your pace.
Drinks, eats, and treats. Meet the fighters at the Carlos.
Then drop this motherfucker so we get out.
Entrance with a ticket sale. This young man making his way to the cage now.
We're going from 6 o'clock this morning.
Weighing at 145 pounds. Liberty, Missouri. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Wes Miller. It comes to us from Toronto, Canada. Please put your hands together.
There we go.
East Tyson.
That's how you do it, good. Huh?
Enjoy the dizzyingly fast professional featherweight action.
snow redown. Just see child, the OG style, and how I used to be wild. This the story of Cameron and Zeke Giles, one-way road to the P now. Yeah, the Who Scout, ooh child, you wasn't there. Zeke snitched, if he did, I'd be doing 100 years. Did the interstate, big city, tiny ones. Took over the in towns, black tie, tiny bums. Handsome hoods, pretty thugs, but we grimy done. Cars, cribs, money, had to find me some. Zeke right behind me, done. He played by all the rules. That's why the house is his, the cars, all the jewels. Young niggas, all the fools. Your regular married with children. Dog, 9 to 5, office pool. Couldn't live that life. I need a loft and pool. I had too much class. I ain't report to school. If they report to school, I caught the stool and start the fool. Took off his jewels, thought he cool. Gun in the mouth, they often drool. With this wolf, this be taught to you. Your money don't matter. What you can't afford to do.
At 32 seconds of the very first round, your winner by knockout out of the red corner, Andrew the Beast Tyson.
Nice left.
So happy to my elbow. I'll tell you. I look at yo, man, come back and drink. Andrew or yeah, it's Andrew. Yeah. Did anybody get my sweats?
I got you right here. I got somebody pick your sweats up. I got you.
I'm over here looking, I'm like, why is this still fully dressed and he got on his shoes?
How you feeling, T?
Feeling good, man.
What happened?
I didn't even think it was gonna happen that fast, but
what?
No, what was funny is like, I didn't even know it happened.
I heard it. I heard it. It said, fuck it.
I heard it go, oh, and I looked at the ref, he didn't do it. I was like, I ain't about to go.
Hey, he said, fuck it. I heard that. Show her go.
Oh, I literally go, oh. And then I looked up and I was like, I gotta get one ball.
It was a left. Was it a sharp left?
Left hook.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then you came down with the. Yeah, it was a sharp left. Fuck.
And you hit him, and then you hit him with a left.
I was just trying to pass his guard, really.
And they ninged him on the chin.
I was trying to stop him to hit the guard, and he said, oh, and I looked up, I was like, I'm gonna throw this motherfucker.
Bro, when he said, oh, he hit the full snow angel. He hit the straight snow angel.
He literally goes, oh, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I heard him go, oh, I go, what? It's cool. Oh.
I
was waiting on it, T. I was waiting on it. It was still.
I said it 3 times, I was like, the crowd was quiet enough for my group here.
Proud of you, little bro. Real shit, boy.
All that training, 2 seconds of work.
Hey, I can't remember the last. I can't remember the last fight that went something before that. Shut up.
You lose, give me back out.
Yo, I missed that. What happened?
You when you walking in, you ain't loud enough. Yeah, I hear you talking what you tryna spin. Yeah, I got it, bro. OZs, QPs, HPs, we sold those. Now I got the whole thing and let it go for 30.
Three Kings.
Low Fat CEO, Coast to Coast. We in St. Louis just tore it down. Coast to Coast Live St. Louis edition. I'm here with 3 Kings and we about to turn up Denver 420 Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast Mixtapes.com, Coast to Coast Live.com. Hashtag Coast to Coast. Fuck with us, man. We out.
My name's Eric Crittenden. My style is kickboxing, karate, taekwondo, and boxing, professional boxing. I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm 31 years old. I want to give a big shout out to 3 King. You know, you guys are keeping it alive, so keep it up.
Bang! What up, world? Welcome to another segment of 25A coverage. I'm your host, Mac Mo Green. Y'all seen how it happened. Y'all seen what it was. We want to give a special shout out to Wes Miller on a hard-fought training camp. And we want to give a special king shout out to Andrew the Beast Tyson. Congratulations on your 32-second pro debut fight against Wes Miller. So you know what we're going to do tonight, y'all. We're going to sit down with the king himself, Andrew the Beast Tyson, and go one-on-one with him in just a home, comfortable setting on what he's got coming up next. It's his off time. See who his next fight is, when the next fight is. See what he's got going, what the Beast is like on his home front. Check it out. Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's Mac Mayberry. I'm sitting here today. Andrew the Beast Tyson. We sitting here. We going behind the scenes 25/8 around the clock, just getting an interview of his regimen, his lifestyle, and an inside look at the Beast. Today we're going to sit down and give him some questions from the viewers, from some of the friends, fans, people all around the world. So first start off, what's going on today, fam?
Nah, man, just finished training early today. Just came to kick with my peoples, chill out. Same thing I was doing Saturday, just chill out, try to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, you got a fight coming up. When's the next fight?
March 22nd for Blackout Fighting Championship. It'll be my second pro fight. Fighting CJ, the ground shark hunter out of St. Louis. Real tough kid, 40 amateur fights. This will be his pro debut. Real highly scouted dude in the Midwest at this weight class. This will only be my second time at this weight class, so a lot of hype around the fight already, so I'm definitely excited about it.
And you dropped down to
145. Yeah, this is my second time fighting at 45. My last fight was the one January 25th. That was the first time I actually made that weight, and I felt good, felt strong, and so have a little tougher of an opponent this time to see, you know, how my body deals with maybe going a little longer than the last one. Hopefully not, though.
Are you two relatively close in age, you and?
He a little bit younger. I want to say he's lower 20s, but he's been fighting a long time. He has more fight experience. This is his pro debut, but he's fought pro caliber guys, and he's technically, in terms of training, I think we've been training about the same time, but he was much more active throughout the years, and so it's a fair matchup, definitely. You know, depending on who you talk to, different people are favored. Our styles are real similar, so, you know, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I've never lost a fight. You know, so far, with anything under 55, I've finished the fights in the first round, so it's definitely going to be a tough fight for him and me, so we'll see what happens.
Do you feel like your age is a factor in your career right about now?
You know, sometimes a little bit, you know, maybe because of the time I took off, you know, your body recovers differently, but I think, you know, I've always been pretty good about the way I take care of my body. Most people think I'm younger than I am. I'm in my 20s still, obviously, but, you know, I think experience and maturity has a lot to do with it. I think maybe early in my career, yeah, I worked hard, you know what I mean, the technique, all this stuff was there, but I think maturity has a lot to big deal the way you train, and just my day-to-day life. I think I'm a little more mature about how I go about things. I think that's why I've been able to close that gap so much faster with some of the guys I train with, and even with all the time off, I think that's why I was able to catch up, because I'm just mature about my whole lifestyle in general, the way I eat, the way, and so I think it's definitely a benefit at this age. I'm not old, I'm not even in my 30s, so I'm definitely in my physical prime, so.
What is technically your big background? What would you say?
Definitely wrestling. Gotta give shout out to Coach Joe Rios over at Shot Mr. South. That's why I started any combat sports younger. I didn't start wrestling until I got to high school, but wrestling was my background. I was third in state 6A in 2002. That's always been my background. That's always been my base. Started training jiu-jitsu at KCBJJ with Jason Bircher. And then, you know, just training MMA, you do the kickboxing, the boxing now. I'm consistently with Melvin Wesley, arguably one of the best boxing coaches in Kansas City. So, you know, obviously wrestling's a great base, but I'm a pretty well-rounded fighter overall, but wrestling's definitely my strong point.
Shouts out to Melvin Wesley.
Melvin Wesley, the master.
The master. Where'd you go to high school at?
I went to Shot Mr. South.
Shot Mr. South?
Yeah.
And college?
I went to Rockers, but I didn't actually wrestle. They didn't have a wrestling team. And at the time, a reason I didn't wrestle in college is at my senior year, the hope was to win state. When I didn't, it kind of turned me off a little bit. And at the time, MMA wasn't what it was, and I had no intention of becoming a fighter, so I didn't think of it as a career path. I figured, you know, what can I do with wrestling later on? And obviously now that I'm fighting, it maybe would have been good, but I think things happen for a reason. You know, I know a lot of guys that wrestle in college, and they either got burnt out or, you know, and I like I wrestled 125 in high school, so I've gotten a lot bigger since then. I'm happy with the weight I'm at. So, you know, I think things do happen for a reason, you know what I mean? Yeah, obviously having that background would have helped. You know, some of the best fighters in the world right now are guys who had a college wrestling background. But, you know, I still think I still think it's how you approach the sport, no matter what stage you're at. And so, you know, definitely the wrestling was my strong background, but I didn't get to wrestle in college.
So, and you practice jiu-jitsu a lot.
Jiu-jitsu, kickboxing. Mainly, my main focus now has been a lot more jiu-jitsu and boxing specifically. You know, obviously we do kickboxing, but Melvin Wesley being my main striking coach, he comes from a boxing background, and Jason Birch comes from Brazilian jiu-jitsu background. So those are my two, you know, the two things I really work on a lot consistently for the last 2 camps. And you know, I just feel like if I keep getting better at those 2 things, CJ's gonna have a tough fight on his hands March 26th.
Look out, CJ. Hey, all right. So, what inspired you for real to start MMA? Like,
I mean,
where did that come from?
I think a lot of it was just being competitive. Same reason I started wrestling, and you know, just at first I initially did it just to get back in shape. I was walking. I was a lot heavier at the time. I'd been lifting, but you know, I just did stay in shape. And you know, when I started competing when guys were fighting, I realized because of my wrestling background, I would get the better of them just in practice. And you know, coaches kept pushing me, you should fight. And I took my first fight at 170. I won that fight.
At 170?
At 170. Initially, that was the weight class I started fighting at. And just being competitive as I was, I took it serious when I started training. When I fought, obviously, I loved the feeling of it.
Right.
Dropped down to 160, kept fighting out. And then I started beating really tough guys who were supposed to beat me. I would say my first 3 fights, I was considered the underdog based off experience. And you know, my first fight at 170, obviously I wasn't supposed to win that fight. I went to the guy's hometown up in St. Joe, real tough guy. And so my first 3 fights I wasn't supposed to win. And then when I beat, the third person I beat was Roman Barber, who's now at a hit squad.
I remember.
Which I have a pretty good relationship with Jesse Finney, which is the guy who trains his gym. But back then, you know, it was just early in my career. And, you know, when I beat him, granted I didn't know his reputation as much, but it's when I beat him that people really started showing attention. Then my 4th fight got offered a amateur championship belt, which, you know, in my mind, I thought, even though it was still amateur, I thought that was kind of quick, but a lot of it was based on the fact that the guy I beat was beating everybody up, knocking out. He was 5-0, 5 knockouts. I was not supposed to beat him, and so that's what kind of draw a lot of attention. You know, once you get attention on you, like I said, me being competitive, it's hard to, you know, you have that many people watching what you're doing, even as an amateur. You know, you never want to fail. You don't want to make it look like you're doing this for nothing, because at that time you really are doing it because you gotta enjoy it. You're not making a bunch of money. It's, you know, you gotta have a competitive spirit about you, and so it just kept going, and I haven't lost since. And so you know, there were times where I was fighting maybe just to keep that up, but now I really am back to loving those years I took off. I think had a big deal to do with why I trained so hard and where I'm at, you know, right now in my career. So
a lot of growing up.
Exactly. And so like I said, you know, I think any undefeated fighter, like, I think the way you keep staying undefeated, winning certain fights, is a lot of it has to do with pride, but, you know, it can't just be about pride. You have to actually enjoy what you're doing. I enjoy everything I do on a daily basis, you know what I mean? The only thing I probably don't enjoy is the dieting of it.
You know that was coming
as everybody knows, but, you know, I think you really have to, I think at a certain level, especially now as competitive as the sport is, you really have to enjoy doing this, or eventually you will fade out, you know what I mean? So I can definitely say that I have more of a passion for it than I did when I initially took that time off. So
you respect it more.
Yeah, definitely. You miss it when you stop doing it, especially in places like Kansas City, when you had so much attention. That's what people know you for. Even when your mind, you don't want to do anymore. That's how still people remember you as. And you know, it's got one of those things where it was constantly being brought up all the time. And you know, 3 years off is a long time. And so when I made the decision to come back, I said, you know, I'm going to make this what I'm about for real. Like, this is what's going to be. This is what I'm a chase. You know what I mean? And so I put my all into it now.
I'm gone, ski skirt, I'm in traffic, blowing beer, thinking like Socrates, focused on
Three Kings.
Yo, what up, man? Your boy Danny Mixtape, tour manager, Coast to Coast Live. We out here in St. Louis doing another show, 7 different cities every single month. Better get ready for something out. Your boy, shout out 3 Kids. We out here in St. Louis with us. They're gonna be coming with us in Denver. You already know, Coast to Coast. We out here.
Yo, what's up? It's Marcus Jackson, aka MJ all day. Kansas City born and raised from the dot, Wyandotte County, Kansas. Professional fighter, I fight at 155. I'm a healthy 185 right now though. We're not fighting until March 29th at Scottish Rite Temple. Looking to make some damage to the pro. Here to support my boy, Andrew the Beast Tyson, and other GH teammates as well. Shout out to Three Kings. There's also all my sponsors supporting me, Ringside Boxing, all the Kansas City family. And looking to do some big noise in 2014. Peace out.
I've had 12 fights in total, 11 amateur, 1 pro. I've only gone to decision 5 times. Initially, my first 3 fights were tough fights. I went to decision, but I've become known for stringing out for being a finisher, and that's been a big help into my career, my confidence, especially my last fight. So, just happy with the way things have been going.
Yeah, I was at that fight when you fought Roman. That was
he was a tough dude.
Dude was tough, man.
Yeah, and even as tough as he's probably the only person that's ever really hit me hard and dropped me. Like he's one of the And I remember after the fight him saying like, you got a chin on you. I mean, people remember, that was a tough fight for me, and a lot of people saying like, man, that, you showed some heart in that fight. You showed a lot of promise because, like I said, that was a guy he was a college athlete. Knocking people out. He was a better athlete than me. That was another thing that I think I had such a tough amateur career in some aspects where I think a lot of guys at the amateur level, especially if they go 10 and 11, a lot of times because they're the better athlete. I had fights where I wasn't the better athlete. Roman was a better athlete. I fought Joe Sugden, stronger guy than me. You know what I mean? So now at 45, I feel like I do carry a lot of power at this weight. I think I really do believe that the only way I'm gonna run to a guy who's a better athlete or more powerful now at this weight class is gonna be at a high level, which. I think once you get to a certain level, you can the pressure, it's heavier, but at the same time, you've made it to maybe where you want to be. You know what I mean? The hard work pays off. So I feel very confident at 145. I know for a fact CJ's tough, but I don't know what he thinks this fight's going to be like, but I think he's in for a rude awakening if he thinks he's fought anybody as powerful for me at 145. I think he's going to be a little surprised about the power I carry at 145. So.
Do you have any special diets or anything that you do or eat? We know you love to eat.
I mean, like I always try to do different things with the diet. Like I'm always trying to learn new things. My diet's definitely gotten better. One thing is I'm an extremist. Like if I'm taking time off from the diet, I'm taking time off. I'm eating bad. I'm eating horrible. And one thing is I can say is I stay away from fast food. Like. A lot of people there, when they're not on their diet, they're literally eating anything, you know what I mean? Like, my biggest problem is just eating a lot of food. And so, like, if people know I love going to, like, Japanese steakhouse or, like, going to, like, pho with a chop. But at the same time, that's not as bad of a meal as if you're a guy who eats McDonald's.
Right.
You know what I mean? And because I've been able to cut those type of things out of my diet, for the most part, I just gain a lot of weight. Whereas a lot of guys, they eat such crappy stuff in between that it's more of a long-term effect. But, my biggest thing is about making weight. I'm in the gym all the time anyway, and so for me, the biggest thing about diet is really just about making weight. I cut a lot of weight to make 45, you know what I mean? Everyone knows that. I was a big 55er. At 45, I'm huge, you know what I mean? So
like, where do you walk around at?
I mean, typically, like, I fought 2 weeks ago from today, and I'm already back up to like 68, you know what I mean? So that's 23 pounds, and I'm still training already, and I trained today. Whereas, the highest I think I got within that 2 weeks was 172, so 27 pounds in less than 2 weeks, obviously an issue. But like I said, because I'm in the gym all the time, my diet usually isn't anything too crazy. It is muscle, it's water weight, it's all that. But the biggest thing about the diet is I understand that for me to make weight and be able to last 15 minutes, I have to eat properly. So what I mean. And I understand how to cut weight. I wrestle, I have that background, so it sucks, but it's part of it's part of the sport. So
right. How you feel about that Anderson Silva leg kick?
Man, I didn't throw a leg kick for like a month after that.
I don't think you threw a leg kick this last fight.
Yeah, I didn't. I haven't thrown a leg kick in a while. It's weird. It's like, my favorite fighter probably is Jose Aldo. He's known for his leg kicks. When I spar, I do a lot of leg kicks and stuff like that. That's one part of my game that, people mostly know me for my wrestling and that. And my whole thing about that is it's simply like I'm just trying to win. I'm just trying to win fights. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. But I train a lot of stand-up in kickboxing, and I've fought guys who, even though the fight may have gone to the ground, I think a lot of times in their mind they're just like, all I have to do is keep it on the feet and I'll win a fight. I think like when I fought Joe Sugden, granted it went to the ground the majority of the fight, I think he was so focused on not getting taken down that when we were on our feet, he I don't think he expected what it is. I train hard, you know what I mean, and leg kicks and stuff like that, something I work on a lot.
you know, you ask my training partners, you know, I got a lot better standard than people realize. I'm never gonna go out of my way to prove a point. The only thing I gotta prove is that I can win a fight. You know what I mean? So CJ's supposed to be a good wrestler. Personal opinion, I don't think he's a better wrestler than me. I don't see him spending 15 minutes laying on top of me. I think only way he wins is by finishing me. That's just my personal opinion. But you know, if it comes to a position where I can't take him down for some reason, you know, he'll find out that it's gonna take more than just staying on your feet to beat me. You know what I mean? I do believe I carry power at this weight class, like I said, and you know, nobody's had to deal with it too much on the feet, but the first person who does win or lose, I promise you're not gonna say I don't hit hard. You know, I promise you that's not gonna be a comment they make after the fight. So whoever it is that I end up getting that stand-up battle with, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see how it happens. But I know the guys I'm training with. I know Melvin Wesley, what he's working with. I train with tough guys, LC Davis, all these guys that I know on my feet I'm very proficient. So someone will eventually find out, you know, how good I am on my feet.
How you think the league's turning with the MMA? Do you think somewhere like the Titan or somewhere like the UFC or somewhere would have a spot for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, Titan, you know, our ultimate goal is UFC. I think if you're doing this, especially as a pro, I think that should be your ultimate goal. And that's not to say that if Bellator came calling or, you know, but yeah, I believe she want to fight the best in the world. And, you know, it is getting to the point where Bellator's starting to challenge that. You know, you got at least one champ or a couple guys right now at the lightweight where a lot of people would argue that they might be the best 155s in the world. That's maybe the only weight class they have there, but you're seeing 145 a step up. You're seeing a World Series. Marlon Morales is the 135 champ there. You know, Titan and those shows, those are really feeder shows to the UFC. So obviously the goal is to get into a Titan, a RFA Resurrection Fighting Championship, a Bellator, something like that. You know, if I'm lucky enough to where I can string off 5, 6, 7 first round finishes, yeah, the UFC call guys up that way without you having to go through these other organizations. And I do a train at a prominent gym with prominent fighters. You know, Kansas City is known for MMA hub, but yeah, definitely. I definitely believe I can make it to time, especially if I win these next couple fights. I definitely think that would be the next path. But you know, I understand how this works. At the end of the day, you got to take wins and you got to win impressively. I think early in my career, especially at 55 when I was fighting bigger guys, for me it was more about just winning the fight and just, you know, getting through it. And now I'm kind of understanding that I need to be finishing fights. You know, I'm not here to, you know, lay on guys. You know what I mean? Like I want to finish fights. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people may not like wrestlers that just lay on you or whatever. I like to think of myself as a finisher. I like to think of myself when you see me go to the ground, people are on their seats. They're not going to sit back like, oh, here we go. I like to think of myself as a guy that when they see me take them down, they're on the edge of their seats because they know anytime I can finish the fight. That's what I want to be known for. That's what I've been known for the last 4 fights. And as a pro, CJ's a tough kid, and I don't know how many times he's finished. I don't think he's ever been knocked out. I don't think he's been finished in some ridiculous amount of fights. He's had 40 amateur fights. I think it's been over 10 to 15 fights, if not longer, that he's even been stopped. Like, I want to stop him. You know what I mean? I think that'd bring a lot of tension, at least locally. If I could stop him in the first round, be impressive, dominate him, I think that means a lot. And I'm ready for a 15-round fight, but I'm sure he feels the same way. Like, for him to take me as a pro debut, I think he's looking at it as like a feather in his hat. Like, you know, there's a lot easier fights he could have taken, which I respect that, you know what I mean? Go for a tough guy, I've never lost, especially me coming down. So I'm sure he's thinking the same way. He wants to go out there, he wants to finish me. Not only does he want to be the first guy to beat me, but if he could finish me, I think that'd be a big deal. And like I said, I really believe that's the only way he wins this fight is by finishing me. I can't see him beat me up for 15 minutes. I don't believe he has the skill set to do so. And so it's going to be a good fight, man. I really do believe he's going to be a tough opponent. But I do believe if I get a chance to touch his chin or get a hold of his neck, like, I can end the fight. And I'm sure he feels the same way. So
it's that beast coming out of you.
Yeah, I mean, I believe, and like I said, I think he's a tough guy. I think it's going to be a fight that, you know, people kind of complain about these last few fights been kind of quick. And I think this will be a fight people will be really interested in seeing. It'll be worth their money.
So when is the fight again?
March 22nd at the Ararat Shrine in Kansas City, Missouri. Blackout Fighting Championship. Thanks to Dusty Spald and those guys over there for getting me on that show. And like I said, man, it's already got a lot of tension. I think it's gonna be one of the better fights of the night. Because I think no matter what, if one of us gets finished, I think it's gonna be a big deal just because of how our record's been. And then if it goes 3 rounds, I think it's gonna be a tough fight. I don't think me and him are gonna spend 15 minutes being boring. Like, that's not his style. That's not my style. So I think it's gonna be one of the better fights of that night. So
That's what's up, man. That's what's
And my
up.
boy Deron Carlos is fighting on his pro debut out of HDMA.
Shout out to
Wild
Deron.
dude, man. Real explosive. Real. He goes out.
Deron.
He puts his, he leaves all out there. And he's another guy who's gonna have a real exciting fight. So Jed Jones, another real close friend of mine.
Jed.
I was with him earlier training today. Another guy who's out there wild. He either goes out there for the kill or gets killed. That's what he's known for.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good fights on that card, and it'll be hard to steal the show. It'll be hard to be the best fight, but I really do think me and CJ are set up to be one of the better fights of that night. So.
That's what's up. Any last words? Anything you want to say to
Nah,
people?
just thanks to HDMA, Jason High, LC Davis, all of my teammates, Jason Burcher, Casey BJJ, Melvin Wesley, of course, Steve Crawford, all the guys at AJJ, James Krause, all those guys over at Grindhouse, just everybody who's helped me train get to this point, who I know will help me in the next 6 weeks for this fight, and I just can't wait. So come check it out if you get a chance.
That's what's up, man. Macmo Green, Andrew the Beast Tyson. You can also follow him at A the Beast Tyson on Twitter. Hit me up, 3Kings, RoyalEmpire.com, MacmoGreen.com. You know what I mean? That's where we at, Kansas City.
I might drown. Is it real that you talking about? I'm a real nigga, little nigga with a slight temper. She wet the sign, call her false dripper. Comfortable, so I had to grip her. She is the miss, she call me Mister. Never had no.
Three Kings.
You walking in, you ain't loud enough. Yeah, I hear you talking what you tryna spin. Yeah, I got it, bro. OZs, QPs, HPs, we sold those. Now I got the whole thing and let it go for 30.
Three Kings.
I'm gone, ski skirt, I'm in traffic, blowing big, thinking like Socrates, focused on
Three Kings.
Lil Fat CEO, Coast to Coast, we in St. Louis, just tore it down, Coast to Coast Live St. Louis edition. I'm here with 3 Kings, and we about to turn up Denver 420, Coast to Coast mixtapes.com, Coast to Coast Live.com, hashtag Coast to Coast, fuck with us, man.
Yo, what up, man? Your boy Danny Mixtape, store manager, Coast to Coast Live. We out here in St. Louis doing another show, 7 different cities every single month. Better get ready for something out. Boy, shout out 3 Kings. We out here in St. Louis with us. They're gonna be fucking with us in Denver. You already know, Coast to Coast. We out here.
Three Kings.